This is 8 Minutes of Awesome. I'm Jennifer Lipsky. Life can sometimes get complicated, but to gently help you navigate, Karina Ladet offers intuitive guidance for your heart and for your soul. And joining me now is Karina Ladet. Hi, Karina.
Hi, Jennifer. It's lovely meeting you.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here speaking with us today.
Thank you.
And I would like for you to share what was one of the first experiences that you can recall when you really connected with your own intuition? What did that kind of feel like? And what was your first experience with that?
Hmm. Well, the first thing that comes to mind, because I tend to listen a lot to my intuition, and I think I always have throughout my life, but one of them was actually quite a difficult moment in my life. It was when my dad had just died, and I was 7 years old, and a neighbor came by, and she didn't tell us that he had died. She said that he wasn't feeling well, and that my mom had to go to the hospital. And I remember thinking, why isn't she telling us? I know he died. And it was like one of those, you know how intuition can be so clear. It's just, you know it. And in that moment, I already knew. And I think that was the starting point for me. And after that, I would often sense when something was, when there was more to something, like there was a bigger truth inside. And so sometimes it would be more fun things than like bad news like that. But definitely like as if a veil had been lifted and I could sense what was underneath it and the bigger picture or a deeper meaning of something that someone would tell me or something I would see.
So that kind of inner knowing. Right. Yeah, that's a really big experience to have. And there may be some people who are watching this right now who are interested in being able to hear their inner voices more clearly. And certainly you offer intuitive guidance for people's hearts and souls. What would be maybe a first step that you could offer to someone so that they can start to hear themselves more clearly?
I love this question because it's something that is really important to me, and I've always loved being able to inspire other people and to just remind them that it's all in there and it's always there. It's always accessible to us. And I think the first step, especially for us being busy modern day people, right, is to stop and to be quiet and to actually listen. Because it's amazing what our souls are telling us and even our bodies. Because we spend our time running and moving and being in interaction with other people and it gets really noisy. I think our lives get really noisy. So after a while, and I know this is true for a lot of people who are quite empathic, because we tune into other people's feelings and emotions and stuff that's going on around us. And so sometimes we forget to just like stop, get really quiet, and then just be aware of our that feeling inside, right? The our hearts or our souls, and yeah, even our bodies, because they're always telling us things and they're always communicating. It's all about us actually getting quiet enough so that we hear those messages. So we don't have to do anything to make it happen. It's like it's already there.
Accessing it, right. And you make a really good point about you know, other people's emotions and kind of the energies they carry. We have our own energy and emotions, and other people have theirs as well. And sometimes it can be, particularly when we get hectic and busy, sometimes it can be, there can be a little bit of an overlap that kind of feels like it starts to occur, like an overlap starts to exist. And sometimes it's hard to discern ours versus someone else's. So, again, what kind of guidance or thoughts would you give to someone who's really, trying to say like, okay, is this mine or is this someone else's? And how would they navigate through something like that?
Yeah, that's a really interesting challenge. And it's like we always have to be careful of that because we're we interact with a lot of people, and especially when they're very close to us, like family or children or very close friends or coworkers. So my first suggestion would be to really just spend a few minutes, close your eyes, just imagine or visualize how we release other people's energies. So it's like connecting with the earth, just breathing through the earth, through our feet, and just having the intention of releasing other people's energies, other people's feelings, whatever we are carrying that we don't need anymore. And I think that sometimes we don't have to know what that is, like what feeling or what memory, just having that clear intention and letting it be move through us can sometimes give us a lot of relief. Just that sensation of feeling lighter. We don't know quite what it was, but it was just like exhaling after holding your breath for a long time. And then also, if a feeling does come up, just like bringing it into your heart and just allowing it to be there, and then being very just observing what happens and going, okay, is this mine? Is it someone else's? Because when we ask questions, we can sense things inside us. And often for me, at least when it's a no, I'll just get that sort of tight feeling inside. And if it's a yes, it feels softer and lighter. And sometimes it's like something opening up. And so for someone who hasn't done this a lot, I think that the difference can be quite subtle. So it's all about being really just observing and not judging, because I think we all take on other people's feelings or emotions and energy. So I think it's just something natural that comes from interacting with people, and sometimes just from caring for others and wanting to be there and wanting to support other people too. So it's not like a bad thing. It's just being aware of it and not carrying it for them, because that's not going to help anyone. So just really noticing and observing with compassion and love for ourselves and for other people always.
Yeah, those are great suggestions. And, you know, I know that you are a very joy-filled and joyful person. And what just came to my mind was I want to ask you to share some sort of really joy-filled experience that you've had recently, whatever it may be, something that really brought a smile to your face and to your heart.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm happy quite a lot of the time, and I think I always have been. So I experience so many fun things all the time, but I think it's really about how we look at things, right? Because I love having a good time and I try to bring more joy into my life. It's really like a conscious choice, has been for a long time. Um, well, sometimes it's just like playing around with my children, because you know, like kids are so spontaneous and they don't overthink things, and they just kind of let it out and they just do crazy stuff. And so lately it's been dancing with my little girl. She's 5 years old, and she listens to this music that I honestly don't like very much. It's very much like electronic kind of, yeah, weird stuff. And normally I would never listen to it. But she'll be like, "Oh, come and dance with me, mom." So we'll like dance, and then we'll just fall into heaps on the floor and just giggle and laugh so hard. And it's just bringing that childish fun. I'm having a good time, and I don't have to think about, what I say or what I look like or what other people think. I'm just having a great time. So that would be one of my recent ones.
Oh, that's beautiful. And it sounds so much fun.
Yeah,
That sounds
it
great.
really
That
does.
sounds great. You know, just to wrap up, I would love for you to also share if there was a message that you wanted to have other people hear right now, something that really comes from your heart. What would that one message be right at this moment?
Oh, remember that you're always loved, always supported, and spirit is always with you.
Mm, beautiful. And for anyone who would like to connect with Karina personally and to learn more about her amazing work, you can do so at her website, which is karinaladet.com. Karina, thank you so much for sharing this time with me.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. It's been such a joy and a pleasure to meet you and to be part of this beautiful project. Thank you for creating it.
Well, thank you so much.